It didn't happen in my 20s. Who cares? Now I've got all this fancy wisdom to share. Hey, I've got this baby, you're getting the best of me, 'cause I'm a new mommy of 40. Welcome to New Mommy at 40, a honest, informative, and non-judgmental podcast for those navigating to and through parenthood in their 40s. But before we get started, don't forget to follow, subscribe wherever you're listening to this so you don't miss a single episode. All right, let's get into it. Welcome to New Mommy at 40. I am your host, Victoria Latour Dunker, and I am so excited. This beautiful face that you see next to me is family. She's my cousin. She's the illustrious mompreneur, creator, extraordinaire, Diana Hillaire, and I'm so happy to have you with me. Hi, love.
Hey, boo. I wish we had the hand clap gestures.
I know, you know what? I should, I should. Let me see if I'm going to find it. It's going to come late, the applause, but you definitely need it. Oh, look at it clapping. Here we go.
I don't hear anything.
Oh my God.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I found the effect.
The things that make us smile.
Listen, you were worth looking for it. It was
like right on cue. And I was like,
oh. The crowd goes wild. How
Right.
are you, love?
I am well. Like at church yesterday, blessed and highly favored, right?
Right? It's
Yes.
true.
Yes.
So many blessings. Just
How are
for our
you?
audience. Oh, thank you. I'm good. I had a wonderful Easter Sunday. I am someone who does like to go to church, but I haven't gone as much this year, I have to be honest. So I was one of those, hi, and everyone's like, you're new here. And I was like, dang, yeah, I am. But it was really nice to be with the family. And I had a great time. One of the reasons that I wanted to have you here, first of all, if you guys don't know, Diana has an amazing, her resume is beaucoup long. But what I love about her is this ingenuity, like trait that she has. She keeps reinventing herself, and she has this amazing company that we'll get to, but it's when she comes home and she'll tell you all about it. But I watched us become moms. We like not too far apart. You beat me a little bit by a couple of years because your twins are 6
Mm-hmm.
and Kari just turned 4. And if I would have guessed that the two of us would have been doing motherhood around the same time, I would have been wrong. And it was so cool. It's crazy to see. It was fantastic. But, in that process, it was nice to have someone else kind of be, in the family of like someone who, they're like, oh, wow, finally you have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You're a mom
Are
now.
Are you ever going to have kids?
I know.
Why are you waiting so long? What's taking so long?
Yeah. And both, and being Haitian, it's like,
oh, girl,
it's this added, like, what's going on? Don't you want to settle down? No, your baby, bring the baby to me. Just bring it to me. I'll take care of it.
Right.
But here we are, and we have both had a journey of reclaiming ourselves.
Yes.
Through motherhood, because we can't say after, because it doesn't end this role.
Doesn't end. Mm-hmm.
So this, in this episode, what we wanted to talk to you guys about is just rediscovering yourself again after motherhood, or through your motherhood journey. So when did you start feeling like, who am I now?
Listen, when did I feel that? So I think being pregnant with twins was like, like what? Two humans at the same time. But I believe maybe within the first month,
Mm,
it was just like, wait, what is going on right here? Like,
mm,
let's keep it 100. I had a C-section,
mhm,
and to not be able to pee regularly or to move your bowels regularly or to sit normal
mhm,
for like the first week or two, you're already like, okay, what is going on here? And then you get home with them, then you have two. So one wants to eat at 1 in the morning, the other one wants to eat at 3 in the morning, then the other one wants to eat at five. And then, so now you're like, wait a minute, I can't sleep regularly. I can't use the bathroom because I feel like I got to, but I really can't because it hurts if I do. And I need someone to help me get up and get. I would say the first month. The first month was really like, hmm. But being the woman that I am, I try to like play it off. Like, I'm okay. I got this. I got
mhm,
this. I And then time passed and time passed, and my partner at the time was noticing it, but just keeping a pulse because he knows how I can get a little crazy,
mhm.
and was like, something ain't right. And he called it from jump, but I try to keep that face like I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, but I would say within the first month I knew Diana,
Mhm.
pre-mom, was gone.
Ooh,
Woo!
ooh, that hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I I did not feel like I had the right to feel that
Ooh.
because
Why?
yeah, yeah, because of the miscarriage I had before Curry.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then even though it was pretty early on, it was just kind of like, you better thank your lucky stars that this one like was full term and that
Right,
you had
right,
her.
right.
So I didn't take help for nighttime. Well, it was I also had her at a different time than you had the twins like cuz I had her in January 2020 and the world was still kind of open at the time, but
Mhm.
there was
Mhm.
this circling around us about, COVID
Curry's
or the
January?
she's January. January.
So we both had kids in January. What were
January.
we
Yeah.
what were we doing in the spring?
I don't know. Well, we know what we're doing in the
I
spring.
know, right? Something was good in the spring, I
Something was
guess.
brewing in the
Yeah.
spring. But yeah, no, I didn't feel like I had I had postpartum, I had anxiety the entire pregnancy.
Mm,
Like there I had to record. I made it a point to record myself during the time for me to remember the happy moments. But I was
mm.
always running to the restroom and checking like if everything was okay. Like there was not a point that I didn't go to pee and I didn't look for any type of like
Right, right.
blood stain, anything. So and so when she was there, I felt like I don't need to sleep. I'll anticipate all of her needs, like 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning feedings, da 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 da. And so I was on this Energizer bunny of like doing it all, and I crashed about I think it was probably 6 months because not only did I put the pressure of myself to workout because I had a C-section too, and I've had
Mhm.
myomectomies before for fibroids. So I knew the
Mm,
recovery process wasn't going to be easy and I it was similar. It was a weird thing to kind of like had gone through before so I could kind of prepare myself. But because of that, I was like, I gotta move. I gotta wake up and do, whatever pelvic floor. I gotta do it because I know this recovery and now I have a kid that is going to be relying on me. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to like keep walking and work out and do all
right.
this stuff. And in 6 months, I was just like so sleep deprived. Just thinking about it makes me want to cry. I was
Yeah.
so exhausted. And I want to say last year, mid-year, was like the first time again that I slept full 8 hours.
Mm,
The sleep deprivation, and I just didn't recognize myself. There was a point in which I felt like if I tried to do my hair and makeup and just to wake myself up, like to fake feeling
like fake feeling good.
normal, yeah. Uh, and then it caught up with me and I crashed. And then from that point on, the world just was never the same for me because
Mm,
it was isolation. My mom couldn't even come because, no one could come. And I spent 10 months with just me and my husband in our 1-bedroom apartment in Harlem.
mhm,
And it was bliss in that sense of, the that cocoon of just
mhm,
getting to know her. No one was
mhm.
working. we uh well, he was working at a point. Yeah, there
Mhm.
was a point he was working, but
Remote
then
working. Mhm.
he wasn't. And so we were just like in what felt like bliss in family unit wise, but
Right,
the
right,
disconnect with myself
right.
was about 6 months and it took a long time. But like for you, w- w- when your partner was saying, "Hey, Diana, I think something is this is different. This is different." What did it take for you to really like let that sink in and admit it to yourself?
Mm. I was annoyed when he
Yeah, I would
said
be.
something is different. It was just like,
Yeah.
"What do you mean?" But at that moment, I couldn't grab it. I wasn't trying to hear it because I'm like,
Mhm.
"No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just tired." Right? We blaming, "I'm just tired. I'm just tired."
Mhm.
He even offered like a weekend of I don't want to say like a weekend of therapy, but like some form of therapy, some form of help along that way, mental help. Um, and I didn't receive that as a good gift, so to speak. I'm like, that's what you want to give me? I'd rather get my nails done in a pedicure or a spa, but you want to give me some type of wellness gift, some type
Because we
of
don't know
mental
what
health,
self-care is.
girl. And so I was annoyed. I was that turned into an argument of like, no, I don't want that. I'm good. I'm good. And in my mind, I was like, how dare you offer me something like that?
Mhm.
But in hindsight, I should have packed my bags and taken that and jumped in the car and go for it. But
Yeah.
at that moment, you're just going through all these emotions and feelings and your body and your breast is leaking. And for me, I had to
Girl.
double feed. So everything was just out of it. And for your partner to come and be like, yeah, I think, how about I offer this to you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling that. So it wasn't well received then
Mhm.
for the most part. Um, but did I do anything afterwards? I can't even remember. But I know I wasn't the happiest. If I go back, I
Yeah.
had a journal. If I read back, and I keep the journal far but
Yeah.
close
Mm.
because the pages are scary to read on what I
Mm.
was feeling. So, which
Mm.
started, this is why When She Comes Home was birthed later on, because I was like, if I could write what I'm feeling in a journal like this, and if I'm feeling like this, what are you feeling? What is she feeling? What did she feel? What did our parents feel? What did
Mm.
our moms feel? Because they keep it tight lipped. And I wish I was a fly. I wish I could read minds and figure out what they were thinking because this wasn't it. No one warned us. I don't know if you got a warning. I didn't
No.
get a warning of what motherhood would look like. All I got was, oh my gosh, you're pregnant. It's going to be beautiful. But no one
Mhm.
told you the real rule that you and your partner would be arguing. That you would think you know everything and he would think he knows everything or he's doing everything wrong because it's not doing it the way that you want it to be or look or feel or smell. Um, Nothing. The way he changed the diapers, the way he put the clothes on the kids,
Oh.
the way he's holding them, the way he put them in the car seat, the way he put them in the stroller, nothing was right sometimes. And it's like no one warned you that you would have these episodes and how to course correct, right?
No.
So now we enter this and it's this bowl of foolery. I wish malarkey,
It's okay.
um,
It's not a kid's show, so you feel free. But
full of
yeah, it's
bullshit.
bullshit.
I
It's
was like,
full.
I
It
wish you
is.
guys told me this prior, then I would have made an assessment on if this is the path I want to take.
Mm.
Um, you know, yeah, no one warned you, the marriage, the engagement, all that stuff. I'm not married, I'm not engaged or anything. But the lead up, and then if you speak to married people after the fact, they be like,
Mhm.
girl,
Right.
girl, so
This ain't easy.
I
Yeah.
wish there was a manual or a grown up. I wish the women in our family sat us down and told us the real
Yeah.
before it
Me too.
happened. because then things would have looked different. But we could do that for our girls.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too, and it might be a cultural thing, but also generational thing is they, I don't think they have felt that they had that right, or they weren't empowered to display the things that we now, it was taboo then.
Mhm.
It's more
Mhm.
acceptable now.
Oh, for
Even if,
sure.
you maybe have to find your circles to kind of be that honest, but that
Right.
was not like, my mom had 4 kids. Naturally, I never, they were intent in masking discomfort, friction,
Mm.
anything like that was not for children to see. So how were we going to know? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless they
Right.
sat down and said,
Right.
okay, let's tell you the real. My favorite conversation with my mother is the day she got so upset talking about finding yourself, right?
Mhm.
My mom was like, always like, I want my education. And I was in high school, because when I graduated from high school, she was done with her bachelor's. Yeah. And
Mhm.
she was studying. And my dad, as amazing as he is and loving and whatever, he was not always on board when it came to the school and work full time and kids. Like, when was his time? And she had a exam to study for, and
Mhm.
she was upset because he must have said something to her in the bedroom. She walked out of the bedroom into the kitchen. She goes, everybody come here. Come here. I want to see everybody here at the same time. Everyone come here. Did you guys know that I wasn't born as a Latour?
What?
Yeah, I have your last name because I married your father, but my last name, and if I have to leave this earth as my maiden name, so be
Mm-mm.
it.
Mm-mm. The Haitians coming out of me. Mm-mm.
And she turned around and she closed the door, and we were like, well, somebody's not happy. But it was I'll never forget that, because to me, in my journey of trying to find myself again, I remember thinking, going back to that moment, that was her breaking
Mm.
point. That was her,
Mhm.
I'm doing something for me. And if anyone's not on board with that, you can make a decision for yourself. But this is what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And so, you know, it may not be in the form of, honey, let's have a talk.
Mhm.
But her example that day was very powerful and long lasting.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. She was
Yeah.
fierce.
I
She
love
was
it.
fierce.
She
For
was like, "What's
me,
not gonna happen?"
yeah, see, what's not gonna happen is no one's gonna take me off my game. Okay?
That's it.
All right.
I did my
So
part.
yeah, I did my part. So let me go ahead and live my life. She wasn't
That's
playing.
it. Mm.
But I remember when I realized, uh during after about 6 months is when I started going, okay, what am I trying to what am I trying to get back to? Am I trying to
Mm.
get back to my life before? I don't think I can do that, because at that point I had already given up. No, it was about a year before I gave up my job. I was working as a flight attendant. I gave that. There was no, I wasn't going back to that.
Fun fact, everybody, both Vicky and I were flight attendants for the same company
Company.
at the same time.
I know.
So
So
funny.
funny. And we didn't even have
Mhm.
that conversation. We just ended up there.
Right.
And so a lot of people don't even know that we're family. And it's every once in a while I'll go into social media. I'm like, oh, of course she knows
You're
that
right.
person because we worked together.
Right.
But like, I wasn't going back to work. That job, I had already retired. I put my notice in. So it was just like, okay, so that chapter is gone. I'm not an actor right now because film industry's shut down. I have this newborn. There's no one to watch her. Everyone is in Florida. My mom was diagnosed with cancer. Um, so it was just like, I don't even know what my life is. Like, what, I don't even recognize this life. It's new. And so either get on board, and this is it. So I really kind of dove into motherhood. I just think
Mhm.
it was a little skewed into my expectations of myself.
Mhm.
I was trying to be super mom. When things opened up again, I was like, okay, I need a mommy group. I got to do that. Mom, check. What class should I be putting her in, like toddler classes and whatever? Because everyone else is, I mean, I was going kind of like overdrive until I realized I may never get this moment again. The difference for me, how that came up was because of being over 40.
Mhm.
I I didn't want to take time for granted in case I couldn't have another one.
Mhm.
So I remember like running, running, running until it was just like, slow down, enjoy these moments because you may not get them again. I don't
Mhm.
know if when did you start to kind of like your the wheels started turning on like, okay, action. What's my action? What do I do?
Ah, see, it was different. Um, it was super different. I think
Well,
maternity
girl, you had
leave,
two too.
right, right. So that was God was like, oh yeah, I can give you a 2 for 1 because truth be told, there wasn't another one going to happen. Um, from on the operating table, I told my doctor, I was like, can you just shut it down now? And she was like, you're too young, and you're gonna come back to me in 3 years. So, and I'm like, no, the hell I'm not. Um, and she was like, that's what everyone says. And I still speak to her to this day because she's friends with my GYN. And
Yeah,
I saw her and I was like, yeah, we're 6 years in. She was like,
you
you're
know
the
it.
exception.
Wow.
Yeah, because people come back after 3 years and pregnant again and whatever. But I knew for sure that this was a done deal. But I knew like I wanted the kids to do certain things. Reading, checking the things are just different now. We don't have Glenn. And if
Mm-mm.
for those who don't know, Gun is grandma, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had a grandma growing up that was hands on, hence why I could speak Creole. Because
Mm-hmm.
Gun didn't speak English.
Right.
And
Right.
so Gun was there and Gun watched everybody. So
Everyone.
whoever was having the kid, whoever had birth, gave birth, everybody, me, God rest his soul, Jerry, we was all in the crib
Mm-hmm.
at the same time together. Liz wasn't born yet. No, Liz wasn't born yet. So, you know what I'm saying? And so
You didn't have to worry
Gun was
about
there.
childcare
No,
and no childcare.
no,
What was that? Like we didn't go to any daycare centers. It
no.
was yeah, my grandma lived with me all my life. All like all my life.
Gun. Go to
Gun.
grandma,
Yeah.
And so, no, and thank God for my mom. My mom was already retired. And so during maternity leave, my mom came to my apartment every day, like clockwork. She got there, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock
Mm.
in the morning. And she did not leave until, my partner came back from work because he still had to go to work. And for 4 months, it was mind blowing. Um, yeah, so I was like, what am I going to do? What do I start to teach the kids Creole now? Do we do flashcards at like 2 weeks old? Crazy, cuckoo stuff that we do. But no, the first 4 months was just getting acclimated to two kids, pumping from two breasts, pumping, right? Or
Pumping.
keeping your juices, your milk flowing. And that was short lived. After 3 months, I couldn't breastfeed anymore. Breastfeeding is a mental. It's for me. It was mental. And if you're not in a space where you can just be, you're comfortable, you're relaxed, your supply
No
will
dry up.
diminish
Yeah.
real quick. We
Mm-hmm.
tried the cookies, we tried this, we tried that, but I was in an environment where I wasn't comfortable. My mom would look at me sideways because I was breastfeeding, and I don't think that was a thing she did back in the days. Um, so I couldn't relax and pump, and just let the milk flow. Like, Mom, look. It was just not comfortable.
Yeah.
So it was just the first 4 months. I can't even recall anything of go, go, go. It was just trying to get acclimated to this new life of no sleep, waking up. My cut hurts, everything hurts, my boobs hurt. I'm not pumping enough. I don't have enough milk. Now I got to transition to formula, and that was the go, go, go. Breastfeeding, okay, going to formula. Oh man, should I give one and not the other? It was bananas. So I
Mm.
didn't have a go, go, go plan. It was just day by day, minute by minute. hour by hour plan on just what this new chapter called motherhood I'll be writing.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just the anxiety that kind of was like making me like try to focus on other things because if I focused too much on the day by day, it made me nervous. It really it made
Mm,
me nervous. Like, am I gonna? And especially as like the months went on and my mom got sicker, I was like, am I really gonna be doing this by myself? Like, she was always supposed to be here to do this with
mm,
me. I thought she was gonna be here
right,
for this. So then when she was gone, I really was just like, I don't I didn't envision doing that without her, and
right.
it was really, really, really tough. But that's when I think that's when depression started hitting, and I was in overdrive because I was being mom to a 14-month-old, 15-month-old, plus taking care of my mom's affairs and my dad and keeping him afloat. It was just, and still trying to be a wife and still trying to be a mom to Kareem and dealing with a recent miscarriage again of twins. It was just like, it's just, I was like, who am I? And so for me, I found a group of women that would meet on Zoom once a week. And we had to basically be accountable to each other throughout the week. Like, hey, how are you doing?
Mm,
What do you dream? Like we like dreaming of like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, and just being in those spaces forced me to have a moment for myself
mm.
almost every day because
To
otherwise there
add
was
you to your
nothing.
priority list.
Yeah, I did. And I did it outwardly because I don't think I went into it thinking I need to make space for myself. I just was like, I need community. I need something like my mom's not here and I need to talk to somebody. Like, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. And then it really fed my soul. It really started to,
Mhm,
now I felt like I was specifically making time for myself. And then the podcast too. Like the podcast came out of, the irony of hearing someone say exactly how we started the call of like, what
mhm,
took you so long? Your mom, oh, at least your mom got to meet her. And I was like, okay. Um, and then doing the podcast, I was doing it literally 45-minute breaks when she was still taking naps and going, hey, can you meet on Tuesday at 11:45? It might be a little later, I'll let you know. And just
right.
recording. And that was even staying up at night. Now, if I was going to stay up and not sleep and, be sleep deprived, it was because I was working on this project that was
Mhm,
important to me.
mhm,
Um, and so I would say the podcast, the permission to dream about having the podcast, permission to
mm,
think of myself as an entrepreneur. But yeah, I'm thankful for having that space to create through
mm.
my experience. For you, when she comes home, like when was the moment that you're like, okay, I got to start this business?
Ooh, I was still working for my employer pre-COVID. Was it pre-COVID? Yeah, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Because I want to say November. And I was like, listen, I got this thing that I want to do. And what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And this was a business client slash partner turned
Hmm.
friend that I can consult with. And I was like, this is something I want to do. And she was just like, do it. Absolutely. Do it, do it, do it. And I was like, I don't know. She was like, figure out the I don't know later. Launch it.
Mm,
And, I didn't share this. I don't think I've ever shared this. When She Comes Home was going to be called For Her.
mm.
But For Her is already taken by several different companies and stuff in its own various ways. And so I was like, all right, thinking of the name. And I have all the beginning. I have my book of when For Her started, like what is it going to be, what the box is going to look like. I went to Michael's and bought the box and just started buying different things. And then I was like, you know what? This is going to be something. And I tested it out. I sent it to people, got feelings of what they liked, what they didn't like. I emailed. This is before Honeypot was. I emailed Honeypot and I was like, listen, there's, da 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 da.
Wow.
And they sent me product. And
So
it was
wait,
like,
you have to explain what when she comes home is now so
oh,
that people
right.
understand. Yeah, yeah.
We're about to go real deep into it. When She Comes Home curates boxes for mothers, mothers to be, and women who've experienced pregnancy loss. We don't say miscarriage because you didn't miscarry anything.
You're
We
right.
don't miscarry nothing. We experience pregnancy loss. Um, and so in this box, if you go to a baby shower, if you go to anything celebrating a woman who's a mom or about to be a mom or whatever, the whole registry is baby stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, where's the stuff for mom? Where's the spa? Where's the pedicure, manicure? Where's the house cleaning? Where's the cook?
Yeah.
Where's the anything for her? And so that's how it was birthed. And truth be told as well, two of my girlfriends came separate times after I had the kids. One came with groceries and was like, "Hey, how you doing? Nice. Hi, everybody." Went straight to the kitchen to cook.
Mm.
And then I had another girlfriend who was like, "Hey, D, what do you want to eat? What does their dad want to eat?" And she came and cooked. That's their gift. I was
Yeah.
like, this is dope. I couldn't tell you when was the last time I swept, vacuum, or anything. And so I was like, so maybe moms need someone to cook for them. Maybe moms need someone to clean for them. Maybe moms need someone who can watch the kids for a couple hours so she can rest, shit, shave, and shower,
Yep. The
and
basic S's.
the basic things so you're not walking around smelling crazy. And one day a friend came over and was like, "How are you doing?" And I collapsed into tears. And she was like, "Whoa." There wasn't much said after that. I just couldn't talk. And I think she came back later that day or maybe later that week and gifted me a journal. So, in addition to friends cooking for me, she gifted me a journal. She was like, when the words are not there, at least you can verbally, at least you could write them down. And all of that said, made up when she comes home. Where in the box, you'll get a journal, you'll get a pen, you'll get a shower bomb because I did most of my crying, my praying, everything in the shower.
In the shower. Yeah.
And no one's really going to bother you too much. But the kids were babies then, so they can't crawl, or whatever the case may be. So in the showers where I did all of that. So journal, pen, shower bomb, because not everyone in Brooklyn has a tub, right? So you could just
Mm-hmm.
put it in the shower and let the whole bathroom illuminate with the smell. A candle, because the candle has scents that combat anxiety, stress, depression. So it smells comforting, it smells relaxing. And different boxes have different things. Pillow sprays with lavender. So when you lay down, you could just relax and just breathe and exhale the smell of lavender, and things of that nature. So you guys have to go on the website and see what else is in the box or we offer. But that's when she comes home, that's what birthed it. It's just like the essentials of what a woman needs when she can't talk to her partner, she can't talk to her friends, maybe can't talk to the women in her family, and so write it down and light a candle, go cry in the bathroom, and come back out a different version of yourself for that time being. So that's what
Okay.
when she comes home is.
Award-winning, award-nominated, and celebrated when she comes home. Let's just be clear. But
Oh,
I'm so proud of you.
thank
And
you, sis.
I've always told you that, but I think it's just a primary example of using um your experiences and to create something that is of you but bigger than you. Like
Mm,
it's bigger than you. This was truly like God, uh I feel navigated, like definitely hand on it. And then also for you to, because you have to be in a very vulnerable, giving space to continue to tell your story of how this came about. Because do you know
right,
what I mean? Because
right,
it's a vulnerable place. It's a choice to say, like, I want to tell you where this came from, but it's so
right,
relatable. And I appreciate the fact that you do that. And it's the same in the same way. And again, like why I do the podcast. It's not always easy to talk about the pregnancy losses. Thank you for that. I'm
mm-hmm,
gonna change my words from this point on. Um, and making choices that I feel did contribute to me having kids. I'm fine where they happened, but we make these decisions along the way in these decades, and here we are sometimes.
right,
And I to to be honest about that. But through that, you build community, you help someone else. And that's what when she comes home is doing. I think I've gifted many a box, and it's just so, and I've received boxes, and it's just so, it's the true definition of self-care, what you're providing. I was listening to NPR the other day, and it was a book. I'm not going to quote it. I'll put it in the notes so you can find it, because I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to blame mommy brain, but it's not that. I'm getting
Right,
old.
right, right.
But she
You're
was
not
talking
getting
about,
old.
fine, I don't remember.
That's
And
it.
that's I just don't remember. I just don't remember. But she was talking about self-care and how, as a society, we've defined this to be so external. Everything that you mentioned that you've designed to be in your boxes is meant to evoke from internal. External, even if it's a shower
Mm-hmm.
bomb, it's meant to make you take a moment to reflect inward. Because if you don't deal with what the actual issue is, all you're doing is just putting stuff on your nails. Why did you feel like you needed to go to the salon today? What
Right.
is the reason why? You know what I mean? Behind what made you feel stressed enough to seek this activity. Journaling helps with that. Taking that
Right.
moment to, light that candle and to take that time and have a space to cry helps with that.
Absolutely.
Um, so I think it's kind of leaning to redefining what self-care is.
Yeah.
And
On the nose.
right, in your experience, what you did was truly try to, from inside out, and then to heal those parts of you, and externally you created this amazing experience to help others.
Thank you. And our statement, we are redefining the narrative around motherhood.
Mm,
That's what When She Comes Home is doing, because we are always putting ourselves second when everyone's demanding them to be first. And it's like, yeah, no, no, we're not doing that right now. So yeah, mommy's gonna go get her nails done, because not because I'm stressed, it's just because pre Diana, if you look at anything, anytime, anywhere, my nails were always done. It's just something
fly.
about it that
Yep.
makes me feel good. And so and if you talk to any of my girlfriends, if their nails are not done, they're not coming near me. They're not gonna video chat me, because they're like, if Diana sees my nails, she's gonna go crazy. So much so that I got a card that I gave them that says, "I love you like a fresh gel manicure." That's how crazy it is, right? Like, my nails are done now, but my nails, you'll always catch my nails done, because it just makes me feel good. You'll always see my brows on point, because that's I like my face to look decent with or without makeup.
Okay.
And so the brows are always the focal point for me. And now my signature is a red lip. Everywhere, anywhere, I will have a red lip on. But hopefully one day, uh, the pastor said yesterday in church, dream big.
Mm-hmm.
Dream so big that it scares the shit. He didn't say shit, but dream so big that it scares the shit out of you. And When She Comes Home was a decent dream, right? Let's go bigger. I want to put red lipstick in the box so that mommies
Mm.
could feel good. Shout out to the Lip Bar. They have a red lipstick called Hot Mama,
Oh,
and
nice.
it's my favorite red lipstick.
Wow.
And so I want to be able to partner with them and put red lipstick in the box. I want to be able to partner with different mental health, therapists, so that someone could give you a gift certificate in the box. Anytime you need someone professionally to talk to, you can reach out to someone already paid for. Doulas. I've been so there's big dreams that I just want When She Comes Home to have. But imposter syndrome is real.
Mm.
And I want to give up every day or every other day, and God pulls me back every time with a bigger contract and a bigger contract, and it's just like, man, God, so we're in the stage of revamping and redefining certain things,
Mm-hmm.
but we're coming. But every day I'm like, I'm down to 12 candles right now in
Wow.
inventory, right? And it's
Wow.
like, do I order more? Do I take
Yes,
a pause? Right? And I looked at, he was like, yes, order more.
definitely.
What are you doing? I'm switching my shower bombs and I'm going to call them shower steamers. I'm switching vendors and stuff like that. So all these little things he's planting in me. And I was just like, God, I'm just not ready. I'm too scared. I'm too nervous. Where's the money coming from? And he was like, just do it and everything else will fall into place. Just like my friend, her name is Sybil. Shout out to Sybil from The Great Girlfriends. That's another part. And I would love to connect you with them.
Yeah,
She
let's
was
do it.
like, yeah, let it scare you. Let it scare you and just do it. Figure it out later, but start it and then figure it out. So,
Yeah, if it doesn't scare, if your dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough.
no. And I'm scared
So,
shitless right now on how
me too.
the crazy, the insane things that I want to do. Shit, I want to be listed on Oprah's favorite things. I want Oprah to have a separate list of things to give your girlfriends, things to
Yeah,
give moms, and then when she comes home, be listed on that. There's people on that list that I have reached out to and tried to partner with, and it was just so hard. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's not the time right now. And I've watched people who started in their house and now have warehouses,
amen. Yeah,
So I'm gonna get there one day. I'm gonna get
you
there one
will.
day. And but right now I just gotta stop being fraidy cat. That's what we used to say back in the days.
Yes. Oh my God, I haven't
I'm
heard
gonna be a
that term in
fraidy cat.
so. A fraidy cat. Is that a Brooklyn thing?
I don't know. He's such a
Fraidy.
fraidy cat.
What? A fraidy cat. Oh my gosh, that's
I
so
don't know.
funny. No, but
Yeah.
you've got all you need, and I think it's just, shout out to you again for, um, obviously the imposter syndrome is not long
Oh.
lasting. It goes, I mean, it's very real. I have it
Mm,
too. Like now I look at my followers and I'm like, oh, there you are. Now it's a lot of people. I got to keep like creating content and how do I make it interesting? And I have so many big dreams, but I feel like we just need to always keep reminding it ourselves and to anyone out there who's figuring out who am I? I think the best thing to do is to find a space in which you realize that that person is not going to ever be the same. You're never going to be that person again, but the person that you can be today,
mm,
you don't even know how amazing she's going to be yet because you can't.
facts.
I mean, if we look at ourselves now from our weird hairdos as kids and all
Two
those crazy
ponytails.
pictures, the two ponytails and the
Well,
barrettes
you
and
had
everything.
three.
I have
Well,
three.
no,
I
you
always
no,
had three. I used to have
you had the
five.
big no, you had the big
The
one
big
that made a
poof.
knife poof, and then the pullback. Yo,
Okay.
Kati used to hook y'all up. No, let me tell you, the hairstyle she used to give y'all, that
Okay.
regal one. Woo!
Okay, now I have to go. I'm gonna have to find pictures so
Yeah,
I
we
can
can
show.
reference. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna allow you to choose your own picture so I won't embarrass you.
you
So
listen. We look at us now. You could pick
I
whatever
know,
picture is
but you see,
in the
the
stash.
versions of
Yes,
ourselves, like we would not have, seen this version of ourselves, especially as entrepreneurs. We don't have many in our family. We really don't. We have a lot of people who are hardworking and doing amazing things, but not this. So
right.
we had to forge our own ways and our own paths. So find it within yourself to accept this new version of you, get to know her, and give her permission to dream big, to dream big, and you'll be surprised as to where you land.
Hmm.
And I think we're both reflections of that, but I am so, so proud of you. I'm proud of us. I am proud of us.
Well, not time for me to give you your flowers. The
Oh,
fact that you
geez.
launched this, like, come on. I mean, according to the doctors and stuff, having a kid after 35-year old, right?
Yeah.
Geriatric and crazy, just beyond crazy to me. But to have a community of women over 40 who are going through this, who went through the same the challenges, the wins, the losses, the victories that you guys can share. Like that's what this is all about. That this is what we were put on earth to do. This is our purpose. And
Yeah.
whatever God, our steps are already ordered. We just now have to stop being fraidy cats and and just trust, right? You just need a mustard seed of faith
Hmm.
and just go. So you are dope in creating this space for women going through the same journey. Because back in the days, we didn't have someone to talk to and be honest and be like, yeah, I don't like motherhood today. What? You had your baby at 45? You had your baby at 42? Like, how was that? You know, it's all these things. So kudos to you, my darling cousin, for
Oh,
establishing this space for women who just need it and will continue to need it. And
thank
may
you.
your dreams scare you, and hashtag Frady Cat.
Frady cat shitless. Let's get scared shit.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
you. Thank you
Love
so
you
much.
more.
I'm gonna put all your information, but where can they find you on social media?
Social media for Instagram, it's When She Comes Home. We started a TikTok, but I haven't really dived into TikTok, but When She Comes Home, I know. And then
I hear you.
Facebook, When She Comes Home. And the
Mhm.
website is whenshecomeshome.com. You can
Shout out
find
to
us on
Lip
all
Bar.
that.
Shout out to
Yo,
BetterHelp.
let's go.
Shout out
Let's
to
go. Let's go. Shout out to
I'm
Honey
tagging
Pot.
everybody.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Honey Pot. We can't forget Honey Pot. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah.
We'll link. We'll try to tag all the people, the possible vendors that you want to work.
Listen, Cozy
We're,
Wicks is who makes my candles. So shout out. She's a one-woman show who makes candles beyond your understanding. So Cozy Wicks, shout out to you, Gail. Yeah, let's
there
shout
you
out to everybody who you want to work with, because let's let our dreams scare us, right? Let them tell us no.
go. Yep. The worst you can hear is no. So
Absolutely. All you need is one yes. And when you get that one yes, they're
boom.
gonna come knocking. Hey, hey, mommy over 40. I heard you. No, we good. We got all the sponsorships, but maybe next year. Yes.
I pray. I pray. I pray. One day it's coming. It's coming. I love
It's
you.
coming.
We're on a mommy time crunch, so I'm gonna respect
No,
your
we're gonna do
time
a
too.
part two. We
Oh
gotta
yeah,
do a
we should
part
do a
two
part two.
and dive into the taboo conversations about motherhood.
Yeah.
Um, that people really, maybe our tribes talk about, but let's
Let's
scare
put
some
it out there.
people and then be like, what? You said that? Yep, my kids are assholes sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my.
yeah, my
Listen.
kids are
And
assholes sometimes.
this girl talking to me in different languages too, in a way I'm like, just because you said it in French or in Creole does not mean that that was okay. Girl, that's a whole yes. Okay, part two. Stay tuned. Part two.
Yes.
Want to thank
I don't think
again
they're
my
gonna be ready for
beauty.
that.
No, no, my illustrious guest Diana Hillaire
I
of
love how she
When
says
She
my
Comes
last name.
Home. Hilaire.
Too
Love you.
much. Love you, boo.
Once again, I'd like to thank our guest today, Diana Hillaire. You can find everything you need to know about When She Comes Home by visiting www.whenshecomeshome.com. And I'll have her information also in the description box. And I'd like to hear from you. So leave a review wherever you're listening to this podcast. Follow us on all the social media platforms at New Mommy at 40. Our website is www.newmommyat40.com, where you can also submit to be my next guest. Theme song was written and performed by yours truly, composers Boris Tavasinov and myself, musical arrangement by Yazioko Yaz Fukoa, and animation by Ellen's Animation. See you next week.